What's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're here in Modern Warfare Zombies, and we're talking about everything Season 4 for MWZ. Now, the blog post came out this morning. It included multiplayer, Warzone, and of course, zombies. And we have a little bit of insight on what we can expect for the Season 4 Reloaded, because we know we're going to have to wait that long for the zombies content. If you guys didn't expect that, well, I don't know what to tell you at this point, because they've been doing it for the last couple seasons now. I do have my concerns when it comes to the Season 4 content, because if either this isn't everything, or it's going to be one of the most lackluster seasons we've had thus far. It doesn't even mention a story mission. Let's go ahead and dive into it here, as we're going to be talking about the Unstable Rift. Join other members of Operation Deadbolt during Season 4 Reloaded to investigate numerous and violent anomalies lurking within what Sergei Ravanov has determined an unstable rift. Deploy to the extraction zone and undertake a focused race and challenge to access the entrance to an unstable rift. Time is of the essence, as only the first squad to reach a rift and vote to enter it will be transported into it. Thankfully, several entrances to the unstable rift can appear per match. So at this point, what we can expect is there will be random rifts. Doesn't say how they pop up or how you get access to them. It will pop up at some point throughout the match. First squad that makes it over to it will be able to go in and access it. And it's going to be taking them into a new instance similar to the story missions. However, this time it doesn't sound like it's going to be the exact same. Accessing a rift will then allow you to return to an undisclosed portion of a rift you may have previously visited. However, on this occasion, a large horde of zombies and other grotesque horrors attempt to assault you almost immediately. And intense waves of enemies continuously swarm you until the hordes are slain or your team is overwhelmed. By the sound of this, you guys go to an unstable rift. Be able to take you and your team into a version of one of the Dark Aether rifts. Maybe I'm guessing those are the instances it's going to take us to. And then within those, it'll be sort of like a round-based mode, and probably more like the holdout contract from Outbreak. If you guys remember those, you guys went in there, took you into a smaller version or a round-based style of room. You just defended yourself against the zombies for a few waves. Eventually, you were then able to complete it, leaving the rift heading back over to the Outbreak map. In this circumstance, it's going to be very similar, it sounds like. You're going to head into one of the Dark Aether instances, basically just one of the rifts that we've had in the past. Will take you in, you will just fight continuous waves of zombies until you finally completed all of the zombie waves that there is available. Now, one thing it doesn't mention is how many waves there's going to be, how long it's going to take to clear it, any of that stuff, so that will be left to kind of be discovered when we actually get access to either a future blog post or the actual content itself. However, it does say clearing an unstable rift of its nightmarish denizens does offer benefits. All weapon and schematic cooldowns are immediately wiped and refreshed if you succeed. If you are a glutton for havoc, you can repeat this activity as many times as your squad can successfully enter the unstable rift. So I'm guessing by weapons, it's referring to your insured weapon slots. And then, of course, for the schematic cooldowns, you're going to want to craft as many things as you can, I guess, before going into this rift. Because once you actually complete it, you'll get access to all of those again. All your cooldown times will be back to zero. You'll be able to craft whatever you already had crafted after completing this rift. The one thing I find that's kind of weird about this is it doesn't really say we're going to get any new schematics, so it doesn't sound like there's going to be any new schematics here in Season 4, or at least as far as this blog post is mentioning. Obviously, we will get probably a blog post closer to Season 4 Reloaded that may give us more details, hopefully even more information about what's going to be happening in Season 4, because I'm going to be honest, this does seem very lackluster. We're not going to get any schematics. We're not going to get anything new. We're just going to get a rift that takes us to locations that we've already been to, making it more like a round-based mode, and then if we survive, we get all our cooldowns. I kind of feel like this is them ignoring or trying to find a workaround for their schematic cooldowns instead of just actually changing the amount of time needed to craft one of the items, especially 48 hours, 72 hours. That's just unreasonably long. And or just making the cooldown reduction system significantly better. Don't cap us at 100,000 essence per match, so that way we can, extract more if we manage to grab it, and it actually provide benefit toward our cooldown. The other part is, why don't we just make it so where the time that you actually cool down is more than what it is currently? So maybe double the amount of time it cools down, or 1.5x it, so that way it takes significantly less essence to actually cool down those slots. The one thing I do want to say about it is, although it is very cool, it is like the holdouts contract. It does give us a feel of some sort of round-based within the open world game. However, I think the big negative here is people aren't going to feel like this is worth completing. Getting just schematic cooldowns isn't the best thing in the world, especially if you have to use a bunch of them to access the thing that you are going in, get the cooldowns from. So as an example, let's say you went into an Elder, you're going to have to use a ton of resources going in. If you go in and you complete it and all you get back is the schematic cooldowns, I feel like you're going to find it really hard to want to go in and do that content for any reason other than just to do it. Because that's essentially what I feel like is happening in this new Rift, is basically they're like, hey, you can use all your utility, unless they're saying, you know what, go into the map, gear your guy up as much as you can without utilizing any of your schematics, then you can go in, and then at that point, it's like, well, you didn't craft anything, so what are you trying to cool down? I don't know. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm missing the big picture here, but I do find it really hard to believe that this would get people excited enough to want to go into this new rift just to fight hordes of zombies to get cooldowns on their schematics they already have. If you were going to give them new schematics in some way, shape, or form for completing this, if you were going to give people additional stash slots for completing this, I would totally understand. But at this point, after reading the blog post, it doesn't seem like we're getting a new story mission. We're not getting a new Dark Aether rift taking us to a new location. We're just getting unstable rifts taking us back to the locations that we've already been to, making them a little bit more round-based like, allowing us to complete hordes of zombies for an X amount of time. Once we actually complete that, we get cooldowns on all our schematics. I think a lot of people are going to be really upset with this content pipeline for this specific season. I don't think people are going to be excited. It doesn't even have a mention of a warlord, so I kind of feel like this is filler content because maybe whatever they had planned for season 4 is now actually going to be in season 5. So quick summary, I don't think we're getting any new schematics. There shouldn't be a new story mission, which as kind of lines up because the leak said there wouldn't be a season 4 cutscene, but there is one for season 5. We're going to be going back to the same locations we've already unlocked, doing round-based like contracts similar to Holdout from Outbreak, and the only thing you're going to get as a reward is cooldown on all of your schematics, and I can't forget your insured weapon slots. I got to be honest, I can't wait to get into Season 5 because this just seems like a big punch in the face as far as MWZ players are concerned. But that's going to wrap things up for us here. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens when we get closer to Season 4 Reloaded. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all support the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace!